So, hello everybody, let's do another problem. So it says solve each polynomial by factoring. You must show the full factoring and solve for full credit. So what can we do with this polynomial? Well, don't fear it, number one, but let's get started then. So what can we do? We can take it out. We notice that we can take out something. And that something out of both of these is negative 2x squared. And what we're left with is x to the cubed minus 8. And what can we do with this x cubed minus 8? Well, you probably have heard of the sum of perfect cubes. So that's what we're going to do. We can turn this into something else. So, according to the sum of perfect cubes, is that if x to the third power minus y to the third power, it's a sum of perfect cubes. Well, it should equal x minus y times x squared plus x times y plus y squared. And that's the rule of the sum of perfect cubes. And now let me get rid of that. And we're going to use the sum of perfect cubes to solve this. So the sum of perfect cubes, well, this is easy. So x minus 2 multiplied by, well, the sum of perfect cubes says that it should be x squared. Now x times 8, x times y is, well, it's the opposite, x times y, but the inverse, so it'll be 2x, and then it'll be y squared, which is plus 4. And we're done with the polynomial factoring, but now we're going to try to solve for zeros. What can we do with the zeros then? What can we do? We can solve this zero. Basically, it's negative 2x squared is equal to 0, and if we move it on here, negative 2, we're moving it to the right, so it'll be positive 2 is equal to x squared. And if we square root both sides, what we get is x is equal to positive negative the square root of 2, which is one of our first zeros. And then the next zero that we get is this one right here, which is x minus 2 is equal to 0. So what we do? Well, we're going to move it to the right. So x is equal to positive 2. Now this one's going to be a little puzzling for you guys, but so what we get is x squared plus 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. What can we do? Well, first of all, what can we do? We can try doing completing the square, and keep a little cautionary tale. We're going to get an imaginary number. So let's get started. So when we move it to the left, the numbers that we can, to the right, we get negative 4 is equal to x squared plus 2x. Now, what can we do after this? We can do x squared plus 2x divide the 2x by 1. We get 1, and then square it, so we get 1, because we just completed the square, equals negative 4. And we're going to add a 1 on this side as well. So what we're left with is x squared plus 2x plus 1. And what can we do with this one? Well, we can do x plus, if we factor this one out, the x squared plus 2x plus 1, we're left with x plus 1 squared is equal to negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. And what can we do after this? Well, we can do this. So as you can see, we have a square and a negative 3. What do we have to do? We have to square both sides to get rid of the squared. So what we're left with is x plus 1 is equal to negative 3. Or if we take out the negative sign, we're left with I to the third. So after this, we're going to move the plus 1 to the right. So what we're left with is x, and I forgot to mention this, but the I, when it's imaginary, you get a conjugate, so it's positive, negative, I to the square root of 3. But we're going to move everything to the left on this side, the plus 1. We're going to move it to, not the left, but the right, sorry. So what we're going to get is x is equal to negative 1 plus or minus I to the square root of 3. And that is our last 0 of the bunch. And we're done. I hope this helped, and I'm going to try to do another example, so goodbye.